the king of the temple's tomb. Don't let him rise and make a fool of you. Let your soul feel whole and refuse to let him in. Let your light shine bright and learn to see again.
This is your place for all things Detroit Red Wings and all things Chicago Blackhawks. This is the Stick Blade Podcast with your hosts, Jordan Linscott, David Barnhouse, Nick LePage, and Tim Stompanato. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Stick Blade Podcast. It is your place for all things Detroit Red Wings and Chicago Blackhawks, as well as news around the NHL. On tonight's show, we're going to be talking about the Red Wings having a couple of prospects over in Sweden and junior leagues, respectively, having really great starts to their season so far. And also just a quick, fun little tidbit. Alex Lyon made his NHL debut for the Detroit Red Wings this year. Not NHL debut itself, but his debut for the Red Wings looked pretty decent, all things considered, for this past 2 weeks. And that's really going to be it for the Red Wings news. Not a ton to talk about this week. Tim and Nick, walk us through what we're talking about on the Hawks side this week.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple of quick hits this week, a lot of them personnel related. We want to touch quick on the Corey Perry situation, as well as the fact that Taylor Hall is out for the year. We also have a quick question from a longtime friend of the pod, Mikey. So we'll get to that. It'll be a little bit on the Hawks goaltending. Let's jump right in.
And after the Hawks news, we're going to do one other thing that is really fun. If you were with us, what was it? Last year we did a card draft where if you've never done fixed fantasy before, the idea is you put together a team for whatever sport that you're going to follow, whether it be baseball, basketball, football, hockey, whatever. Since this is a hockey podcast, we're doing it for hockey. But the idea is you open a whole bunch of packs of cards, you build an actual NHL club, and that's your team for the year. You're playing fantasy with other people. It's not fantasy in the sense of like you're trading players every week to other people. You're more like a regular GM who, once you've made decisions for your roster, they're pretty much stuck for the whole season, barring something crazy. But that's going to be something that we're gonna end the show with tonight. But watch for that as well.
And as the inaugural defending champion, just want to make a quick brief announcement that the Hendricks Hockey Bears have now been retired because we are now the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs because we're never going to lose a fantasy matchup again.
David, didn't anyone tell you that was like the warm-up season? That doesn't count.
It counts. I have the Tim Stützle jersey.
Right? You got the T-shirt.
We had the Stützle controversy from the first season, which helped me win.
But we can jump right on into the show. We want to get this flowing quick because the draft's going to take a minute. I feel like the wing stuff is going to be really quick. Let's just get the wing stuff done. Obviously, the Red Wings have a couple of prospects who have had really great starts to their season. Obviously, Axel Sandin-Pellikka is probably the one having the most impactful season, playing in the Swedish Hockey League against grown men, putting what's he got 8 goals on the season so far already, David, as a defenseman. Not bad. Who's it? Carter Mazur is a point per game with MSU, I believe it is.
No, that's Red Savage.
Or no, Red Savage. I mean, sorry.
Carter Mazur is great for the Griffins.
But Red Savage's point per game right now with MSU, not bad as well. And also Nate Danielson, man, like a lot of people were mad at Steve Yzerman for that draft pick last year, but I tell you what, it looks like it's coming around real nice.
Yes, he scored his 8th goal either today or yesterday. But people on the Reddit, they're talking about his release and how it's just a very quick NHL ready looking release. So hopefully he continues to grow and develop, and maybe we see him in the Griffins next year.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I mean, just kind of looking at what Detroit's been doing the past couple of years, and I think Sandin-Pellikka is like just another example of this. The Red Wings, I feel like there's got to be somebody in their analytics office who has some sort of model that they're using with defensemen that is finding them these just stud caliber guys. Moritz Seider, Simon Edvinsson is going to, for all intents and purposes, be the first one up from the Grand Rapids Griffins this year if injuries, cause that to happen. Sandin-Pellikka in his draft year, or his draft plus 1 year, is looking great. Like, good on Steve Yzerman and crew for finding quality defensemen who can be true top 4 potential top pair guys without having to get top 3 draft picks.
Exactly, and I think the big controversy with our 2 draft picks in the first round this year was that people were thinking that they could have flipped the 2 of them, and they'd be like, oh, it's better if he picked Sandin Pellikka first and then got Nate Danielson. But you have to wonder, maybe just like with Sider, some other teams between those 2 picks were looking at Danielson.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, David. I don't think Danielson would have made it to your next pick. I mean, as the comparisons to Dylan Kozin started to like come out, I originally thought he'd be going in late teens, and then as it came closer to the draft, I'm like, this guy's going to get picked up pretty quick. Mm-hmm. So it was a smart move. He looks great. He looks like sort of what we imagined Casper to look like.
Yep. And I think they'll both be interesting to watch the rest of the season. Pellikka especially, because for some reason, Red Wings prospect defenseman and SHL just goes hand in hand, where the 3 guys Jordan mentioned earlier have all looked great in the SHL and have transitioned pretty well. I mean, Sider's transitioned amazingly. Edvinson's looked really great with the Griffins as of late, and like Jordan said, like he's the first one up if something happens or someone gets, sloppy up in the main organization. But yeah, they're looking great. And then Red Savage, playing at Michigan State, one of the greatest names besides Amadeus Lombardi in our prospect pool. But he 16 games has 16 points, and Michigan State also doesn't look very bad this year either. So
that kind of is one thing that's important to note is the Red Wings, despite the fact that they're very much trying to be on the upswing and get into the playoff spot, that hasn't prevented them from finding good players in the draft who they project could at some point, if nothing else, be depth players on this roster in the future. Mm-hmm. The other piece of news that I want to talk about really quick, obviously, Alex Lyon made his debut for the Red Wings this past week or so. You know what? Say what you will about him being a younger goaltender, but man, that looks like such a quality decision by Steve Yzerman to pick him up. It basically at this point, he's going to be able to be the gap fill, at least in my opinion, next year if Sebastian Cossa is not ready to make the jump to the NHL level. And good on Steve Yzerman for having the foresight to think, you know what, I don't have an option in an NHL pipeline after Ville Husso, because Reimer's on a 1-year deal, right, David?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Reimer's on a 1-year deal. Lyon provides them a player who they're going to be able to ink on a pretty cheap short-term deal if they want to in the event Cossa struggles and takes a little bit longer. But yeah, I thought that Alex Lyon, for all intents and purposes, he's looked really good these past couple games.
Yeah, I mean, he's had 3 starts for Detroit, his first being in Sweden, so completely different scenario compared to a regular NHL start, where he almost won. We had a 2-0 lead against Toronto, but
Maple Leafs, yep.
They fired back and beat us, but he shut out the Devils. Granted, they were missing Heischer and Meyer, but still, they're still a very capable, strong team. And then today, he allowed 1 against Minnesota. So, also just great week for the Wings, winning 3 in a row. But yeah, he helped with 2 of those wins, and he's looked really good. And like Jordan said, I think he is like a stopgap. Like if Cossa isn't fully ready to transition, we have still someone there to fill a spot. But I think Cossa will be ready next year, in my opinion.
I mean, I said this earlier in the year, and I keep saying, like, Alex Lyon has been a goaltender that whenever a team has called upon him and asked of him to go above and beyond, he historically has. I know he's not a typical starter per se, but he is somebody that can pop in and has stolen games. He was great with the Wolves the year they won the cup. We were talking about this before the podcast. Like, he came in at the end of the year and really saved Florida's playoff chances last year. He was a huge with Spencer Nightout and Bobrovsky, doing one of his lows and highs switches. Alex Lyon stepped in and he sort of got them into the playoffs. I think it's a really good move for you guys because, again, Reimer's that 1-year deal. He'll be gone realistically. I don't see him as a long-term piece of this puzzle at all. But having Alex Lyon in there to sort of supplement in case either Husso or Kosa goes down, you could do a lot worse than a guy who has always showed up ready to play.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Alex Lyon gives them a true backup option where they can sort of look at it and go, okay, one of the big guys is gone. This guy can obviously step in and play a quality goaltender position without allowing 4 per game while the team bleeds defensive chances against.
Mm-hmm.
The only other piece of news that really is newsworthy, the Wings power play has finally bounced back a little bit. It had a really rough stretch, but it looks like they're starting to find their groove again. Not as as hot of a start as they had to the season, but let's also be fair. Their power play started at a godly level to start the year. They had no business being that good, but it's still good to see that their power play has came back to a realistic, sustainable level.
Yeah, I think it was just a good shuffling of the lines and moving some people around that kind of refreshed and revitalized that power play. And I think they scored 2-3 power play goals today, and they scored a couple throughout the week as well. So it's back.
But that's pretty much it for the Wings. Like I said, not a ton to talk about for them this week. And also we're gonna fit the draft into this episode, so we're gonna be a little bit light on it.
We forgot one more thing. David Perrin scored his 300th goal.
Oh yeah, it's always good. Good to highlight that.
Yeah. So he had his 300th
I forgot
goal.
he hit goal 300.
So good for him.
We can transfer over to the Blackhawks side of this podcast really quick, but before we do that, we're going to talk about one of our sponsors for tonight's show, and that's DraftKings Sportsbook. Obviously, if you've never heard of the platform before, DraftKings is basically a way that you can bet on sports games and kind of get in on the action. I always tell people it's fun to have a game that you're watching, and nobody likes watching their team lose, but I feel like you do get more invested into a game that you watch when you've got money on the line, and when it's more than just pride. You've got your hard-earned dollars at stake. I mean, for example, you could bet on the upcoming Wings game. You can bet on who's going to score the first goal, how many goals are going to be scored in the game total. You can bet on what are the goaltenders. I think you can bet even on what the goaltenders' save percentages are going to be. They offer a lot of stuff on DraftKings that you can bet on, and honestly, it's a fun time, even to put a couple bucks or whatever on. So yeah, get it on the actual DraftKings Sportsbook. You can download the app now, and you can use the code THPN. New customers, you can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on hockey. Again, that's code THPN, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. If you have a gambling problem, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling by calling 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. You have to be 21 or older, age areas by jurisdiction. Wood, Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and the NHL Shield logo are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2023. All rights reserved. So, boys, let's move on to the Blackhawks, because the Blackhawks have a couple pieces of news to talk about this week as well.
Oh, boy, we sure do. Oh, boy. So 2 of them are personnel related. One of them, I think, is a pretty quick thing that we just sort of have to touch on because we are a Hawks podcast. Nick, the Corey Perry situation.
Yeah.
I know it's reckless and irresponsible to hypothesize and start to speculate, but for those of you that aren't aware, Corey Perry was a healthy scratch it was an organizational healthy scratch a couple of games ago. And then the next day we found out that he was going to be on organizational leave from the team. And that's Nick, that's pretty much all we've got.
Yeah. It's weird because it's mixed signals from both the organization side and then you go to Corey Perry's agent. Corey Perry's agent actually came out, I think it was yesterday, saying that he was on leave for the foreseeable future due to personal reasons. And at that point, that kind of should just kill speculation. Obviously, if there's something internal with the organization, then we'll find out. We'll eventually maybe find out about it. But if it's something personal, then I think we leave it at that. Who knows they're humans too. Obviously, it could be something that could be going on in his personal life where both sides could be true, where the Hawks are kind of making him sit out due to stuff going on in his personal life, or it could be, who knows? But it just based off the two statements released by the team and then by Corey Perry's agent, it seems like there may be some personal stuff going on where the Hawks are kind of taking what their stance of what they were saying of we're going to be a better organization, where if there's personal stuff going on and you need the time away, you take the time away. Because it sounds like, obviously the players would be in the loop, and there's a lot of players saying we'll miss him around here and, stuff like that. So clearly they know what's going on. They're just not commenting on it. So if they're saying, as long as they're saying all the right things, like we'll miss him, I think that means that there's something more going on in Corey Perry's life.
I agree with that completely. I think that's the first couple of days where this came out. I think I can understand why people immediately started to speculate, because it was a whole lot of nothing, and not only nothing, but like weird nothing of he's a healthy scratch, no reason. He's going to be on leave. It's an organizational decision. No, I can't comment. Like Richardson sort of being like, you know what I know, basically. I can't comment on it. And like, I get why that would begin to speculate, especially with some of the other stuff we've seen recently where players go out on leave and they just sort of in the middle of the night disappear. It's like, oh, that doesn't seem,
and our organization's history. Like,
100%.
We don't give you any reason to trust the Hawks. So
it was the argument of like, oh, there's going to be a lot more transparency, and this is the opposite of transparency. If it was personal issues, why not just say he's out on a personal leave? We respect his privacy in that time. I get it. Those are very valid questions, and we want to know. Everybody wants to know more. But Nick, to your point, I think as things have come out, it sure feels like at this point it's a personal leave. And Corey Perry's a gamer. He wants to keep plowing through. Keep playing, and the organization might have said, you know what, that is not in your or our best interest.
Yes.
Go focus on whatever that is and then come back when you're ready. So
it very well both sides of the story could be true right now.
That's exactly it.
It very well could be, and I think that's kind of, it says what it says. We kind of respect the privacy of Corey Perry. We're not going to speculate, at least this podcast, we won't speculate any further.
All I like, the only thing I will say, and it's an on ice related thing, not an off ice.
No,
he's gonna be impossible to replace. His presence in the locker room, and then his presence on the ice. He was one of our best supplemental scoring threats. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like whether it was actually like shots on goal or like the greasy areas around the net where he thrives. That is a role that cannot be replaced by anyone we have currently, and that sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean. He's kind of a legend still in the hockey community where he's getting this recognition. It's like it was a national story for a couple of days, kind of like what's going on with Corey Perry. But while we're on the subject of, hard to replace, I think, kind of quick transition. I know, we got other things planned for the show, so I'll do a quick transition over to Taylor Hall. Out for the year. ACL.
Gutted. Absolutely gutted for him.
And this sucks. This is a gut-wrenching blow to the organization, especially for this year. A veteran that we kind of were excited for to play alongside with Bedard. And it's just unbelievable that he was able to play through 2 more games when he tore his ACL, I think, in that Tampa game.
Yeah, the fact that he continued to play a couple games is completely mind-boggling to me.
As someone who's torn their ACL, that's nuts, because I could not stand up after I tore mine. So
nor should you be able to. That is the whole thing with an ACL. But no, like Taylor Hall, talk about, Corey Perry's going to be irreplaceable on the ice. Taylor Hall clicked so well with Bedard. Like, and he was brought, like, not only was he thriving with the team, but this was a great opportunity for him to be like, I can still play top line minutes. I am still a top 6 force to be reckoned with. He was going to have, I really felt like he was going to have a whole new like burst of life year. And this just, it sucks for everybody. Like, I know we're going to get him back next year, but like, he's going to be a year old. Like, I don't know. It just bums me out. This was going to be so exciting to watch him play hard.
No, I'm gutted for him. I mean, this was an opportunity. You know, he obviously came to an organization that wanted. He was wanted. For rightful reasons. He's been here, he's been in this situation before. He's worked alongside with future superstars like McDavid, like Nugent Hopkins.
Dogs are barking. They want Taylor Hall.
They do. They want him back. He's played with a lot of organizations, a lot of top players. He and Corey Perry, like you guys said, were two of the big veteran presence for your young guys on the team. And losing both of them within the same time period is like, that's a dagger, not a Chelsea dagger. That's a dagger.
No, that is just a wretched dagger.
Yeah, it feels like we got robbed of a season for him. It sucks.
I agree.
And it sucks for him too. It sucks for all sides. I was looking forward to seeing what it was like having him alongside with Bedard. But yeah.
I will say, David, to your point, like with those two out, and luckily Taylor Hall's still going to be around the organization. Like Richardson and Davidson were talking about that he's still going to be around the locker room. He's still going to be there as a sounding board for the rookies. But at this point now, this team is Nick Foligno's team. It's almost comical. Like he's so clearly, even without the C, he is so clearly the captain of this team this year. And with those two veteran presences out, like it is all Foligno talking about heart and soul, identity, like perseverance. I'm so excited that we still have him.
Well, did you guys see that behind the scenes video that the Blackhawks put out a couple of days ago where they were kind of like following like his background, what was going on outside the game? Like he's one of those guys who doesn't need a letter on his chest to be a leader in that locker room. He's been around the league so long, like he's got no problems shutting people down if they need to be shut down and lifting them up if they need to be lifted up.
Yeah, 100%. He's the voice. He's the voice that this locker room needs. Kind of just quick, just Nick dreaming La La Land over here.
Ooh.
We have a big void in the first line where we need a veteran right winger.
I know where you're going with this, and I'm all in.
We need a veteran right winger.
Are you talking about Detroit legend?
Who has the skill set to play with Connor Bedard? He would be missed. We have the salary cap, and maybe a couple years. He's right over my shoulder right here.
See, you guys went on the list of...
It's not happening. It's not happening. But...
Nick, can I interest you in a gently used Phil the Thrill Kessel?
Oh no, I was talking about Patrick Kane. I mean, I know it's not happening, but God, let the man dream.
Tim, what's Phil Kessel's favorite food?
Hot dogs.
What is one of the foods Chicago's known for?
Hot dogs. My man. Phil, listen, we will never get Patrick Kane. It's okay to dream. We could get Phil Kessel.
No, I know. I was just like, God, this would make too much sense.
I would love it if Phil Kessel played for you. I would love it.
And I would love Kane and Phil Kessel, frankly. Yeah. Talk about an all-American dream.
Fuck it, let's just go win now mode like Sam Bowman.
Get Taze back. One more.
We're getting the band back together, boys.
On that note, as we transition over, one more. I know we are doing rapid fire today, but in terms of developing a team and where the Hawks are going, we did get a question reached out to us. A good friend of mine, long-term listener of the pod, my buddy Mikey. He reached out to me today, and he said, Tim, what are you and the guys' thoughts on Arvid Soderblom? Back right now, the backup goalie for the Blackhawks. He's someone that the Hawks look at as a potential number one goalie of the future. Mikey's question was, looks pretty rough this season so far. Just wanted to get a sense of what we were seeing. Nick, I'm going to be, right out of the box. I think there's still a ton of potential with Soderblom, and he hasn't had a ton of support this year.
Yeah.
I think realistically, he's a first-year NHL pro, so there's going to be some obvious growing pains, but I think he's had some really good moments so far.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think he's one of those guys that he is an unconventional style goalie that we don't really see. Like, he's not all fundamentally there, I would think. Corey Crawford, I know I don't want to flash back too much, but like Corey Crawford was one of those guys, like he wouldn't make the spectacular save because he was fundamentally sound.
He was always in the right place.
Yeah. And I think Soderblom has some things to work on when it just comes to fundamentals, where his confidence also isn't there yet either. I mean, it's not like he's playing behind a well-built team.
He can't ever relax when he's in net because,
tough.
Nick, like you said, he's not getting support. There's a lot of young guys in front of him. He's got to be on. I would like to see a little bit more of that positional work, a little bit of the quick decision making, because that's what's going to keep him alive this season.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's not going to be – he's a young goalie still. I mean, it's not going to be all, roses with him. It's
And there's been some times where he has definitely struggled. I think he looked rattled today. I think, Nick, you actually said that he looked rattled.
Yeah, I mean, goalie is a weird position where it takes a long time. And that's okay. That's okay. If he's not ready, he's not ready. This is a learning experience for him. I also think maybe us as fans were higher on Soderblom than the organization was. Because, I mean, there's a reason why they drafted Comesso and Adam Gajan. Gajan?
Yeah, I think Gajan?
Yeah. But, I mean, clearly, they valued Comesso and Gajan, and they both were drafted second round. So both drafted pretty highly by the organization. Obviously, if Soderblom hit, he hit. But, obviously they want him to work out, but I also think they weren't so high on him and just like know he wasn't fundamentally there, that maybe he could develop and once he's seen some NHL action. But who knows? I mean, he's still young.
It's his first. He's a first year like NHL. I know that like they brought him up a little bit last year, but like that was out of pure necessity of injuries.
And this is a brand new team. It's a whole
my
new team.
God, 100%.
With goalies, like you said, you never know what you're gonna get. Goalies are a weird position. Goalies are weird. No offense to them, but like we thought Mrazek
this year would be great.
We thought Mrazek was going to be our goalie like of the future years ago, and he got traded. Kosa could possibly not pan out. We drafted Trey Augustine high in the second round this past year, so like you never know what's going on.
Well, and David, to your point about Mrazek, I mean, this year Mrazek has looked like a dream goalie for us, which is it's the first year in a long time that he's been healthy this long in like a consecutive series of games, and B, he's been stealing games for us. And I think the comparison between him and Soderblom right now, Mrazek is no stranger to playing on bad teams. He knows what it's like. He's reading the game in a way that this is familiar to him, I feel like. And he also sort of knows, he's a seasoned vet. He has a better idea of what works and what's reasonable. Like, he's going to know how to stay alive in a situation like this. And I think that's going to go a lot. That simply just the experience is putting him in a good position versus where Soderblom is.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think, and also just to kind of finish up on Soderblom, I think Soderblom does really well when it comes to the acrobatic type saves, the saves that
he looks great with that.
Most goalies won't make. His issue obviously it's just like the easy ones are getting through. But the promising thing is that's something you could easily
That's the stuff you can fix. That's the stuff you can develop and work on. Some of that athleticism and some of like the decision making, that's either there or it isn't.
Yeah, not to compare it to a different sport, but it's like a shortstop or an outfielder in baseball. Like they're making these diving, insane plays, and it's like the average human doesn't make that play, or the average outfielder or shortstop doesn't make that play. And then the easy ones go through their legs. It's just like give him some time, give him to, it just takes a little bit of confidence where it's like the easy ones then become easy. The hard ones look easy. He makes them look easy naturally. So he could give Soderblom some time. Let's give it a year. He could develop. We're not even a quarter through the season. So
I know,
you got
right?
time still.
You got time.
Yeah,
so
great.
No reason to press the panics button.
Great question, Mikey. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening, bud. And anyone listening to this, if you've got questions about the Hawks, the Red Wings, hockey in general, shoot us a message. We love answering questions.
Fire away.
Hot dogs. Phil Kessel, if you're listening.
Phil, please, I'm begging you.
We can transfer out if you guys are all right. We can transfer over to the fantasy draft, but real quick before we go to the fantasy draft, we're gonna have to talk about our other sponsor for tonight, and that's Raycon. Basically, if you're not familiar with Raycon, they make really great high quality earbuds, and I'm not just saying that because they're a sponsor of our show. I've used them before. Nick, you've used them before as well. They're a quality product. Like you get a good quality product with Raycon, and obviously, with the holidays coming up, for example, if you missed out on, like Black Friday or something like that, shopping for your loved ones, they would make it like a great gift for for Christmas. And the cool thing is even though Black Friday is gone, for example, Raycon still offers a great discount to Hockey Podcast Network listeners. I mean, they're such good quality headphones. I think they have like a 32-hour battery life on them. They fit perfectly in your ears. You can wear them for hours on end and they're still comfortable. Just quality product all around for like a Raycon earbud. If you want to get on holiday shopping with them, you can get currently, I think it's 20% off everything on their site right now, with select products being up to 50% off. You heard that right. Everything on the site is 20% off. Some stuff is up to 50%. So not a bad sale, all things considered. Hurry now. You can go buy Raycons at buyraycon.com/THPN to get that 20 to 50% off site-wide. Again, that's buyraycon.com/THPN to score up to 50% off Raycon products. Buyraycon.com/THPN. So yeah, that's if you want something fun for the holidays or something that, the people that you're going to get something for Christmas or whatever the holiday you celebrate this time of year is, check out Raycon. They are a great company. Definitely worth your money.
I'll stamp my approval on that.
With that being said, everybody, let's move on to the fixed fantasy draft.
I'm so excited.
Whoa, you said fixed. Fixed.
Yeah, wait a minute. Jordan, the fix is in?
The fixed team fantasy draft, I will say. So if you've never really done a fixed team fantasy draft before, basically this is the way it works. You pick a sport. So in our case, it's going to be hockey. You open up a bunch of hockey cards or a bunch of football cards or whatever the sport is that you follow. And based on those cards that you open, you and a group of your friends, you make a pool together, and then you put a real team together using those cards. Now, I happen to have a box.
So we could do a fixed Tour de France draft, correct?
In theory, you could.
Fixed Yu-Gi-Oh draft.
Blue Eyes White McDavid. Let's go, baby.
But is that your team name this year?
If I get him, it is.
But so you craft a real roster based on the packs that you open. So in our case, for hockey, we're going to make a team that has 3 centers, 6 wingers, 4 defensemen, and 2 goaltenders. So, it's not the full NHL roster, but it is very much reminiscent of what an NHL roster really looks like, because a lot of teams, they have guys who they rotate throughout their defensive position. So it's pretty close to an NHL caliber roster. And so we've already got all the cards and the players set aside for this draft. It's all going to be randomized, the order that people are picking. We already did some of that stuff before show to have this all ready for you guys. So bear with us. This is going to be a little bit of a learning experience for us. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this set up real quick. And we're going to show you guys exactly how this works so that you guys, if you want to get in on this, you can do one yourselves. It's really fun. If you've never done one, I really suggest it. It's a really affordable way to spend a season and really get invested, even with players that you don't normally watch. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take over the stream, put everything on screen for everybody to see, and we are going to get this show rolling, boys.
I'm so excited.
I just know my MVP for my championship winning season is in the draft pool.
Big Donkers is making a comeback.
Is it time for Big Donker's house to get back into it?
Yeah, I think retiring Big Donkers was kind of a regretful move for the team last year. They were they just became less motivated. So this year I think we're kind of throwing the name back on the front of the jersey. We're ready to go. Their boys are buzzing. They're excited. Nobody's in the locker room yet, but the boys are still buzzing. So here we go.
You'll love to see it.
So if I've set this up correctly, everybody should be looking at a screen that has a whole bunch of players on it, has a whole bunch of colorful little cells that you're looking at.
And now, as a reminder, our league is still open, so you can put your players you draft in your roster.
Oh.
So my team has officially been renamed because we're never going to lose again with the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs.
But so the way that tonight's draft is going to work basically is you see down here in the bottom right corner, all these colors correspond with the number 1 through 8. They're going to be 8 rounds of drafting. We snake draft it. Again, the order that the draft will occur was already picked before the show. So you guys won't see that part of the process. But what you will see the process of happening is players being selected by each of us. When a player's taken, I'll take their name off the board, fill them in with a black cell instead. That player's gone. Nobody gets them. And by the end of tonight's draft, everyone is going to have a full NHL roster, basically, that they are going to be playing basically a fantasy hockey season with. So with that being said, Mr. Stompanato, you have the first overall pick in this draft. And let me pull up the random number generator really quick.
Yeah, I was going to say,
what we're going to be drafting from.
Oh, yeah, big money, no whammy, no whammy.
1 through 8. We drafted
Purple League.
So it happened to actually pull up number 1 for the first round. Ooh. So Tim will be picking first out of the teal round. So
all right,
Tim, go ahead and make your selection.
With the first overall pick, the Vienna Big Beefs are going to select from the Colorado Avalanche, Nathan MacKinnon.
Nathan MacKinnon is the pick for Tim Stompanato. So Nathan MacKinnon is officially off the board. Next, that will take that to you. Nick, you will be picking second.
I'm going to run up here like Steve Yzerman does quite often in the fantasy or in the real NHL draft with the second overall pick from the Florida Panthers, Patrick Kane's future line mate, Alexander Barkov.
Alexander Barkov is officially off the draft table. That will take it to you, David.
So, with the first pick of the draft for the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs, or the third pick of the draft for us, I'm actually going to go with goaltender, Michigan native, Connor Hellebuyck.
Connor Hellebuyck, the first goaltender taken in this year's 2023-2024 fantasy draft, is officially off the table.
Shocking.
Which now takes me to pick number 4. Out of all of these picks, I am going to take the Russian machine himself, Mr. Alex Ovechkin.
Excellent choice. There we go.
Which then takes us back to Tim. You will be making again.
I'll be making. Oh, so we're not doing snake. We're just doing.
We're not doing snake.
Sorry. Actually, yes. Sorry. No, so I'll be picking
I should have
first,
kept my mouth shut. That's fine.
All right. So now I will be making another pick. After Alex Ovechkin, I will be taking Jacob Trouba as my defenseman.
Enjoy those sussies. Are you paying the fines? Are you paying the fines for him this year, Jordan? Are you paying the fines?
It's gonna hurt, but I'm gonna try.
Oh, all right. That's $5,000 coming out of your pocket right to start the year, man.
Oh, that's fine. He's been hitting it big with DraftKings and saving money on his Raycons.
Shout out.
Tim, that would leave you with the next pick.
No, it's me.
No.
Oh yeah, it will be. Sorry, I had the order wrong.
It's me.
So you go ahead and go,
give me
David.
him.
You know what? I'm gonna do something crazy right now.
He's taking a double goalie.
That's
Double
exactly
goalie.
what
I'm taking Thatcher
Wow.
Demko.
All right. Well, David's
Wow.
doubling goalies. I was excited. I was going to jump to the board with Thatcher Demko.
Oh, I was going to take Thatcher Demko if nobody else did. I think I would have had to, but
Tim, you could take good old healthy scratch. I'll take Owen Power.
no.
Owen Power is officially off the table.
All right, Patrick Laine. I've got this guy. Well, that's my season.
All right, so that'll
been a
take
slice.
So
that'll take
are we,
the first round up.
Is it still the same draft order, or do you switch it up?
Nope, we're gonna switch it up for the next round.
What?
I need proof.
So now Nick is going to go first for the second round.
Oh, Nicky, like
Yeah, I don't think you need that proof
8,
anymore.
We're going to be all right. So the random number generator, 1 through 8, sent out row 8, which will be the purple row down here.
Trash.
Oh yeah.
So Nick, you get the first or the first pick of this round. Who are you picking?
Yeah, boys, you could just cross out David Pastrnak off your board.
David Pastrnak.
I understand.
David Pastrnak is off the board. That would take us to pick number 3. That'd be you, David. You'll be picking second now.
The Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs hereby select Brock Bozier.
Brock Besser. Brock Besser is officially
Get his. Come on, David.
Respect on his name.
With my pick,
you earn it.
I'll be selecting Adrian Kempe.
Oh, okay. And the
pick for me.
And the Vienna Big Beefs will be selecting Jason Robertson.
Jason Robertson.
You had him
is
last
off
year.
The board.
Yep, and he was the only thing keeping me in contention.
And then you get to repeat the pick, Tim, so you'll be picking again now.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to go with the big man himself, Mark Stone.
Mark Stone is officially off the table. And then it'll be my pick after that. I'll be taking Rupe Hintz.
It's a lot of wingers off the board right now.
Because those are all wingers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oops, all wingers.
Oops, all wingers.
Then it'll go to David. You'll be making the next selection.
We're going to take Yanni Gourde.
Yanni Gourde, he is officially off the table. Which then, Nick, that would leave you with Oliver Wahlstrom.
Nope, I don't want him. I forfeit that draft pick.
Oh, would you rather have Patrick Laine?
No.
That's what I thought.
I'll pass.
All right. Well, we're going to be moving to the third round now of this draft.
So does that mean I have the first pick this round?
Oh, yes, you will. And it shot out 4, which is the orange round.
Of course it did. I'm done.
This is garbage.
Well, David, you don't even know. What are you looking at?
Yeah, David, what are you looking at?
No. You got it. You're taking Tim Stützle because he's on your team last year. Done.
I'm taking Blue Eyes McDavid.
Connor McDavid?
Yep.
NHL rigged.
Final answer. Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh.
Dude, Philip Hronik's still on the board, David, you fool.
All right, which after
Jordan.
David, it will be my pick now. Oh, this is juicy. There are a lot of good options here.
There's goalies.
I'm gonna go goalie. I'll take Igor Shesterkin.
David, what's your problem? I was gonna go for Shesty.
Shesty, release us.
Shesty, release me from this flesh prison. All right.
All right, go ahead and go, Tim. You're the next pick.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna pick Tim Stützle.
The Stützle.
As much as I love Mr. Svechnikov.
And then Nick, you'll be picking this one.
Man.
I mean, there are no bad choices here.
No, not at all.
You get 2 picks, don't forget.
Oh, yeah. All right, give me Cousins.
You would like Dylan Cousins. Dylan Cousins is off
That's
the board.
That's a good pick.
Mm-hmm. And then give me Yossi.
Roman Yossi from the Nashville Predators, also off the board. Which then, after that means that we'll go back to you, Tim.
I'm going to do something reckless here. I'm going to keep filling up my winger spots with Andrei Svechnikov.
Andrei Svechnikov.
You're just doing what I did last year.
Off the board.
I mean, it is what
Listen, I got screwed with center depth last year, so I'm taking centers as I can.
I got screwed with everything last year.
Hronik for my pick.
No, then I'm screwed. I can't do that.
Oh, yeah, you can't do it because you're full.
We didn't plan for this.
Oh, shit.
Then I'll be taking Juicy Sorrows. I'll
Okay.
take the consolation prize that is Juicy Sorrows.
So you can. It's like a
David,
billiards move.
David, you got a force trade. I'll give you Wallstrom for your goalie.
For David?
No.
So that means I take Hronek. Okay.
Yep, you'll take
I have
Hronek.
I'll take Demko off your end. Demko for Wallstrom. Done deal. I'll call Batman right now. We could send this in.
All right.
I'm sweating, boys. This is tense.
We're on to round 4 now of the draft. Let me hit the generator. All right, number 5, which will be the red round. I'm gonna go ahead and make the correct choice here. I will be taking Mr. Cale Makar.
Yeah, that is the correct choice.
Biscuit.
Who's next?
Then after 4, it will be, let's see, Tim, you'll be going after me.
All right, I'm gonna take Alex Pietrangelo.
Alex Pietrangelo is officially off the board.
Mickey time?
Could be.
And
it is Nicky time.
Nick, you'll be going.
Just give me Mitchell Marner.
Mitchie Marner.
Yes.
Ooh.
He's no Austin Matthews.
I don't see Austin Matthews on the board though.
He's no Ryan Reeves. I'll tell you that much.
And then David, you go after that.
I'm gonna go John.
David,
Tavares.
you get your fourth goalie.
John Tavares is gone, and then he also, let's see.
We're messed up on this round. We don't have enough.
Yeah, it's going to be a slight off one.
This is chaos.
And then Jake Gensel.
Jake Gensel.
So now what?
Towards the end of this draft, the order's going to change a little bit. I've got it planned out, though, already.
So I got to take Stahl?
If you have to take Stahl.
You know what? I'd rather have no pick. So that's great. Good for you, Nick.
Well, the way that it's going to work out is, so towards the end of this draft, the ones who got screwed out of a pick this round are going to have extra choices from the last round, if that makes sense.
Okay, a little bonus bonanza, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I?
Nope.
I'll play down a player.
Jordan
Stahl.
Nope. You've got Jordan Stahl.
No, he has a negative impact on the NHL. I don't want him.
Ooh, number 7, the gray round.
Oh.
Well, done with centers.
So we're back to Tim.
Well, there's no
picking
centers
first.
in there, so there you go.
Oh, so I'm picking first. Oh boy. I am going to take my last winger. This is so stupid. I'm going to take my last winger and I'm going to go with Matthew Tkachuk.
Matthew Tkachuk is officially off the board.
Ow.
God, I'm going to regret that.
Nick, you'll be picking next.
Oh. I
have so much regret.
Tim, you're out of wingers?
I'm out of wingers.
All right. Give me Slavin.
Jacob Slavin.
Making me sweat.
Okay.
The Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs take Nikita Kucherov.
Nikita Kucherov is off the board.
He's slipping.
And then with pick number 4, I will be taking...
He's slipping. He has 15 goals and 20 assists.
I'll be taking Mr. Kaprizov himself.
Bust. Yeah, it was between Kaprizov and Tkachuk.
Kaprizov is gone, and then I get to select again. So with that being said, I'll be taking... I guess I'll be taking Jacob Chikrin.
Uh-oh.
I will take Josh Morrissey.
Josh Morris. Okay.
So Josh Jordan,
Morrison.
what? Oh, go ahead, Nick.
I mean, I'm forcing a Bailey because you can't take a winger, right?
That is correct. It's a billiards move. When you've got no move, make sure your opponent doesn't have one.
I am getting screwed here.
I don't know what to tell you, brother. Play smarter, not harder. I'm going to get Chris Letang.
Chris Letang goes.
I want the first overall pick for the remainder of the rounds.
I bet you want a lot of things, bud.
Don't bud me, pal.
One.
Do you want your sticks? Who's gonna get a stick tonight?
I'm gonna cry
Everybody gets
myself to
sick.
sleep tonight. This roster looks like shit now.
We're gonna have to keep moving here, gentlemen. We're almost done with the draft.
Chug,
Everyone
let's
should
go.
have, 6 slots left open in their roster, correct?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep,
I don't have a
boy,
goal,
I'm
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I
I'm
have
deep
5
at
slots
one
left.
position and so empty at everything else.
All right. So, David, you have 5 slots, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. So you're the one who's going to have to get, or who's going to get one of the extra picks.
I got 5 as well.
Yep. So it'll be David and Nick. You guys will be getting extra picks on the last round.
That's where I
Take
want to be.
that. Take that, Tim. Take that.
So
This
the next
sucks.
round will be round 3, which is the pink round.
Who starts?
Who's got first pick here? Nick?
I
Nick?
went first, so it goes back to Tim. He goes back to first this one.
All right.
Wait.
Or
Are you
actually,
sure?
1, 2, 3,
No.
4. No, it's Snake's back. Sorry. So let's see.
This is chaos.
Tim, you're the one who no, you didn't pick back to back. It was Nick who picked back to backs.
Wait, what?
No.
Yeah,
Nick
you're
picked
correct.
First, it was Nick, then Tim, then me.
I
then
haven't
you.
started a round yet. I have started a round.
This last round, it started with Nick. Nick, you started this last round. Then it was Tim. Then it was me. Then it was
Did
Jordan.
I?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think I started.
so
the
we're
last
back to
round.
1. Yeah,
No,
so 1.
No. Tim
No,
started
I've been
last.
2. I've been 2. I did not start the last round. No,
This
no,
is
no.
a
Sorry, that's right.
dysfunctional show, everybody.
Sorry.
Good thing the
I
NHL draft
love
is
it.
not like this.
The
Tim
NHL
started the
draft
round.
is like this.
It was Tim,
Yeah,
then
Tim's-
Nick. So that means
Then
Nick
David.
starts the round.
I start.
I call shenanigans. I
No,
guess
yeah,
I better
yeah,
just
sorry,
start.
yeah, because the first round's because
Nick
the
starts.
first number goes back. So yeah,
It
it
goes
will
Nick,
be you,
then
Nick.
me. Okay. Nick, then me. So what's the color?
Okay.
It's going to
Purple?
be pink.
Ooh, all right.
So who's okay, Nick's picking.
I'm not gonna tell you what positions are full on my team. So
You already told us.
what I say?
Center.
is garbage.
You're fill at center.
No, I'm
And you
not.
need goalies.
Who
We all
said?
need goalies except for David.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter. Give me Quinn Hughes.
Mr. Quinn Hughes himself
the right
is off
choice.
the board.
Mm.
And then David, you'll be picking second.
Do. Give me Artemi Panarin.
The bread man himself is off the board.
I had him last year too. He was a beast.
Yeah.
My pick, I'll be taking. Yeah, I'll be taking Dylan Larkin.
It's a good choice.
Homer.
I actually had no centers. I have to legitimately start taking centers.
And I will take Jeremy Swayman.
Jeremy Swayman off the board. And then you get to pick again, Tim.
I get to pick again? This is wild. I'm gonna take Morgan Riley.
Morgan Riley off of the board. Ooh, decisions.
Matty Barzell's out there.
He's
a center.
I'll go with Alex Tuck. I'll take a chance on Alex Tuck.
So I have to take Matthew Barzal.
And that leaves me Grubauer.
Oh, good choice. Good choice, Nick. You've got yourself quite a team, bud.
I don't even know how Grubauer's doing this year, honestly.
He's a goalie.
Yeah, that's luckily that's one of the positions I needed.
He is definitely a goalie in the NHL.
Oh well. Are we doing trade-ins at a certain point in the year, right?
Yeah, halfway through the season we'll do a trade in.
I think.
Yeah. About I already got my cut list. Like I'm a junior coach. Like gone.
All right, who's next?
Let's see.
I'm starting this next round.
Yep, David will be the one who starts this round. So there's
Can I
only
pick
2
two, then?
rows left.
This is
So it'll
garbage.
go David, then me, and then Tim, then Nick. You go last this round.
That's bogus.
Seems fair. Seems completely legit.
I'm joking.
All right, so let's see. Generate number 2. So yellow's the next round.
Wow.
I'm going to go Victor Hedman.
Victor Hedman.
Oh,
wow.
I'm shocked.
Color me
Which
shocked.
means I have to go next.
I know where this is gonna go.
This is a
Well, I'm
conundrum.
full at
Steven
center.
Stamp.
That's the problem.
Oh, you're full at center?
You only have 3 centers.
Don't tip your picks.
I've got to do it. I've got to take Dr. Dry himself.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's the correct decision. I know the Oilers are garbage, but like Draisaitl's still Draisaitl.
All right, that puts it
And
to Tim.
That's Tim. I'm gonna take the captain himself, Steven Stamkos.
Stammer Hammer.
This played right into Nick's hands. Here we go.
You
Give
must
me
have folded your team last round.
give me Mikko Rantanen
Okay.
Dmitry Orlov.
and Ilya Sorokin.
Ilya Sorokin. Okay.
Now Nicky likes.
I can only. Well, that's not true. I'm gonna pick Jacob Markstrom. He's the only option I legally can take this round
Okay.
Legally.
because I needed a goalie and they were all gone after that.
I was shocked he didn't go Sorokin.
Yeah, me too.
I'll go ahead and take I'll take Lucas Raymond.
Homer.
That leaves
Short
me
and
with
red
Orlov
wing.
then. So how does this work if we have this many picks? Wow,
You guys-
these many
so-
players.
Someone has one pick left. 2 of us have
Yeah.
one pick left.
Yeah, so
I have
so
one
who is it?
pick
I think
left.
it's Nick and David, I believe, were the two that were out a pick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I have
So-
I have 2 holes to fill.
So David, you're gonna get Dmitry Orlov, correct? That should be another
Correct.
defenseman. You
Yep.
and though so now let's see. I have 2 spots. Tim, you should have 2 spots empty.
I do.
And then David and Nick, you guys should have 3 spots empty, correct?
What? I have
One
one
spot.
spot.
One spot?
Yeah, no. It's one
Oh, yeah,
spot
yeah,
empty
okay.
each of us. Yes. I'll tell you what, Jordan Stahl is free to a good home.
That he
put it
can
out there.
continue to
Not his
be.
Well, since Tim and Nick, you guys are the ones who kind of had to get the short end of the stick for this
David,
round.
David
you
and
guys,
Nick. I
David
have
and Nick,
gotten
sorry.
no. Yeah, I've been
you
all
guys
right.
are the first two who
Well,
to get
Nick, what's your
basically
last position
shorted, so-
spot you have left?
What's yours?
Got ourselves a classic standoff here, boys.
I asked first.
Checkmate.
I'll flip a coin. One, Tim, you're number 1. Or sorry, Nick,
I'm
you're number
number
1.
one?
David, you're number 2.
Wait,
Oh, wait.
You just
Who is
Nick's number
two?
1, not me, right?
Yeah, Nick's number
No.
1 and David's number 2, and I'm gonna hit the random number generator. All right, Nick, you're picking first.
all right, give me the blanket.
Alex DeBrinket,
Oh,
That's a
thank
good
God.
call.
Kyle Connor.
Kyle Connor.
So who's
I-
next, bud?
Well, by default, it would have been me going first this round, so I guess I'll have to go.
Yeah.
Moritz Sider's got to be the pick, and it's not just homerness now. I actually have
Holy
to pick a defenseman.
shit. You have all Red Wings. Oops, all Red Wings, the draft version.
So I guess it's my turn. I'm gonna take Sebastian Aho.
Okay, Sebastian Aho is off the board, which means I then take Braden Point as my final center.
And I take Ghost Spear.
Ghost Bear, who's been looking real good.
Yeah, honestly, not the worst year to take him.
So then, can we put these players in? I'm checking right now. to see
I
if this
was not
works.
able to put mine in. But
Okay, so I guess
Um,
Jordan has to change something.
Yeah, I'll have to change
Real
something
quick.
on my end.
Real quick. For those tuning in, if you're still with us, thank you so much.
there's many that are.
For those that are going to listen to this at a later time, please check out the YouTube version because we have some hats that we're going to be giving away sometime soon. I am rocking them. I'm rocking one of them on my
Good looking
hat.
hat.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful hat. Too bad an ugly motherfucker. Oh, ugly guys wearing it.
There goes our all ages.
Hey, who has? None of us have not sworn at least once on this show before.
If you're 13 and under, skip 15 seconds
and buy a hat.
Yeah, no. Please follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. I think we have now. We're gonna be doing a giveaway with these hats. We got a couple. We got some in stock right now. We're gonna do it like a friendly competition. Like everybody knows John Butchergross. If you know him, he does like the Butchie OT challenge. We're gonna be doing something similar with the Hawks and Red Wings. We want to give away some free merch to you guys, just to show thanks to the support that you guys give us. So, please follow us. Stay tuned to our Twitter, Facebook, and everything like that. I think we'll probably once we get to a certain number, we'll give away these hats. We'll do something fun with it, like first goal scorer or anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, stay on the lookout. We have some hats to give away. Just to show thanks for you guys. It's the time of thanks, the time of giving. So thank you all for listening to us. And, hopefully you could get home with some first edition Stick Blade merch.
There you go.
Just like we did last year, I want to go through everybody's roster for this draft and see like who sounds like they've got the best roster on paper.
Nick, easy.
He has Jordan Stahl.
Honestly, though, like who would have thought that Tim Stützle was going to be the MVP for David last year? In all seriousness, like who saw that really coming?
So you're saying Jordan Stahl is going to be the MVP for Nick?
No, but what I'm saying is like surprise players do happen, though.
So, do you guys want to go through your team name and your roster?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jordan is the man who put this together. You go first.
All right, so. Since I deemed it the fixed fantasy draft, the
6 points.
6 points.
He's struggling.
Since I put the fixed fantasy draft together, I guess I'll go ahead and start with mine. I'm going to call this the Detroit Find Friends. Basically, a couple of Detroit Red Wings found them some friends and put a roster together.
Okay.
The roster consists of obviously Captain Dylan Larkin, the Detroit captain himself, and he went to Edmonton and found Leon Draisaitl and told him, "Hey, you can come play for a winning club here." Went to Tampa and said, "You know what, Braden Point, you can also get in the spotlight in an original six club where we'll appreciate you here." Alex Ovechkin decided that it was time to skip the rebuild that's inevitable for the Capitals, and with them, he brought Adrian Kempe, Rupe Hintz, Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov, as well as Alex Tuchin, and young budding star Lucas Raymond. The defensive group, Jacob Trouba, as well as legend Cale Makar will be coming to Detroit, as well as Jacob Chikrin, the Dennis Cholowski pick that a lot of people called it, so to speak. And then obviously the German machine himself, Moritz Seider, will be leading that defensive core with Cale Makar.
Can you actually imagine, though, a actual defensive pairing of Moritz Seider and Cale Makar?
They would just win everything.
That would be a top-notch pairing.
Yeah.
And then goaltending isn't a slouch either. Igor himself, Mr. Shesterkin, and the Predators goaltender, Juicy Staros. So I think this is overall a pretty solid lineup.
That's a good lineup. I like it. Let's do a Hawks person. Nick, Big Donkers.
Go, buddy.
Yeah. No, we're gonna relocate back to the Big Donkers. I think they're a well-respected organization that is kind of like the Atlanta Thrashers, that they need to make a comeback, and they're needed. They're needed back in the league. So welcome back to the Big Donkers. Filling out the roster with the Big Donkers. We'll go down the middle first. We'll go Alexander Barkov. Like I said, future Patrick Kane line mate. He's going to Florida. Dylan Cousins. And he who shall not be named. His last name rhymes with Hall. And then down the wingers, David Pastrnak, Oliver Wahlstrom, Mitch Marner, and then we got Blackhawk legend for about 45 minutes, Josh Bailey. And Mikko Rantanen and Alex DeBrincat. On defense, we got Owen Power, Roman Josi, Jacob Slavin, and Quinn Hughes. And protecting the net, we got Philip Grubauer and Ilya Sorokin.
Very good.
No,
Tim?
very bad.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Over here, we got the Chicago Sport Pepper Pals, and we are happy to announce that with a center depth of Nathan McKinnon, Steven Stamkos, and Sebastian Aho, we think we're pretty set at the dot. Our wingers, I think he's due for a resurgence. Patrick Laine, followed by Jason Robertson, Mark Stone, Tim Stutzla, Andrei Svechnikov, and Matthew Tkachuk. We got ourselves not just some goal scoring, but some grit, some intangibles there. Our defense, we've got quite a pedigree here. We got Alex Pietrangelo, Chris Letang, Morgan Riley, and Shane Gostisbehere. And to round it all out, most important position, the goalie, we've got ourselves Jeremy Swayman and Jacob Markstrom. What a well-rounded team. Bunch of buttes.
It's a good team right there.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah, my team sucks.
I wasn't going to say it, but...
So, as the defending champion of the Stick Play Podcast Fantasy Fixed Card Draft, the Hendricks Hockey Bears are no more. We are now the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs. We won the ship, and we're never going to lose again. Starting at the center position down the middle, we have, the generational talent, Connor McDavid.
Must be
followed
nice.
by John Tavares and Matthew Barzal. Coming down the wing, we have Brock Bozer, Yanni Gourde, Jake Gensel, Nikita Kucherov, Artemi Panarin, and Kyle Connor.
Stacked.
At the defensive positioning, we have former Red Wing, now Canuck. I have a lot of Canucks, I've realized. Philip Hronik, Josh Morrissey, Victor Hedman, and Dmitry Orlov. And between the pipes, we have two of the top goaltenders in the league right now with Hellebuyck and Thatcher Demko.
Listen, guys, Jordan Stahl and Josh Bailey, free to a good home.
Is Josh Bailey playing?
I heard Jordan.
Nick?
Never mind. I'm not going to make a sick joke. No, Josh Bailey is playing in beer league right now. So if we count his stats, I got to probably.
Holy cow, Nick! You still got screwed. I don't think anyone signed him.
I don't know how I got the only.
That's because I boxed you out of a pick. It was great.
That was me because
I have the only person. You guys all got superstars. I got a guy that hasn't sniffed the NHL.
All I've heard all night is how stacked this draft was going to be. No one's going to be disappointed, and yet, Nick, you have exceeded expectations, my friend. It's a real privilege.
I got Jordan Stahl killing Team Spirit, who doesn't welcome anyone. That's all I'm going to leave it at. Yeah, thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I'm so thankful.
So what you're saying is you drafted like the Edmonton Oilers and got nothing.
Yeah, you're real Ken Holland of this podcast, buddy.
Listen, when it says
Peter Chiarelli.
No, I'm not gonna make the joke.
Nope, we're better than that. All right,
better than that.
Jordan, take us home, country roads.
Yeah, my team sucks. See you guys at the end of the year.
And Jordan, if you can, open up the league so we can put our players in.
Yep, I'll do that tonight after the show is over.
Nick, everybody loves a comeback kid. And I think that's gonna be you this year.
So
I'm gonna be rebuilding for years to come.
It's a relocation incoming.
You will never recover from this.
No,
the Arizona State Coyotes.
No, we're not even Arizona State.
I will never financially recover from this.
Too popular. We're relocating like the University of Phoenix, the online school.
The University of Phoenix Tiger Kings.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Thanks,
All
guys.
right. All right, we're gonna
So glad I
close
got
this
a
out
guy.
'cause we're just cracking jokes at this point.
Oh God!
If anybody's still watching or listening, we really appreciate you guys checking the show out. At the end of the day, this show is by fans for fans, and we really enjoy doing it for you guys and having you guys check it out when you do. If you liked what you heard or listened to, feel free to give us a like, follow, share, whatever the social media currency is of the choice of the platform you found us on. It really helps the show grow. And also check out the Hockey Podcast Network. They have shows for all sorts of clubs around the NHL. So in the event you follow a different club, not the Red Wings or the Blackhawks, which if you're not, you should be. But in the event you follow another team, go ahead and check them out. They have shows, I'm pretty sure, for every other NHL club. And you can find one over there for you.
Yeah.
Also, feel free to check out our sponsors as well. Again, DraftKings and Raycon. That's promo code THPN for either one of those. Really helps the show and the network out. So feel free to do that as well. But in the meantime, we will catch you guys back all here next time with another edition of the Stick Blade Podcast. You guys take it easy. We'll catch you guys back later. See ya.
See you.